Let's go. On the half marathon, here we go to the toughest long run of my life, folks. Now it's first 1.5 km to Mauer Park. Then there are running drills, which means warming up in a way I would also do for the marathon. Then 10 kilometers at race pace. 1 kilometer a bit slower, and repeat the whole thing twice. The warm-up is done. Now I am doing running drills. I want to start complaining, but it's still quite warm, humid. It's not a good sign if you get a slight side stitch during the running drills. This is going to be something. Let's go. First 10 kilometers run. First 10 kilometers run is done. And if I could go home, I would say it was a good training session. Wow, guys. Really? So 10 kilometers in exactly 42 minutes. The average heart rate was just under 170. But it feels tough. Not even from the legs, but from the breathing. And it's still really warm. It's slowly cooling down now, but holy moly, I find this easier. I'm sure I'll manage the second one. As for the third 10 kilometers run, I still see it as a bit uncertain. Now there's an easy 1 kilometer, which matches my route exactly. Instead of my 1.4 kilometers lap, I now have a 1.07 kilometers lap. I haven't run for about 9 laps now, and then we'll see how it goes. The second 10 kilometers run is in the bag, folks. It was insanely tough. For the first 4 kilometers, I really needed to go to the bathroom, so I quickly went into the bushes. That cost me 30 seconds. I hope I don't have to strip down to half make it in. End up criticizing a 4:14 split. So after the toilet break, I ran almost 4 minutes 10. Before that it was a bit slower. But it gets intense. I can feel my legs getting heavy. I notice that my thighs are starting to tighten up. I'm very curious to see what will come from the third one now. I have now taken 2 sips to almost finish my whole bottle with the mix 163, which corresponds to a total of 4. I will try to push through everything in the third goal, but it's a tip. I really can't say right now, by the way. I ran the half marathon in under 1:30, including the toilet break. Super awesome. Freshly showered once. Now it's on to round 3. Let's go, people. So we are in the third round. There's a small problem. My backpack was stolen, which means I don't have any water anymore and have to make do with gates. The backpack is back. I caught them red-handed, and that's why I was a bit on edge. The first 2 kilometers were average. The last km was really intense. For 10 kilometers runs currently average for 11. The room is half. Legs are really wide. Not much more is possible. I moved my backpack twice more, always placing it next to people who would sit for a bit longer. Well, a few things are still missing. 41 minutes 48 for minutes 11/km. 45 for minutes 11/km. What the hell was that? Wow, but now 34 km total in, under 2.5 hours. Overall pace for 22, including 2 toilet breaks and 1 bowel refill. But now I really feel everything. My legs, my knees, but no cramps. I'm sure the last 10 kilometers run wouldn't have been as fast if my backpack hadn't been stolen, which, as I mentioned, I found again. Unfortunately, it was empty, so my saw stick is gone, and my Salomon bottle is gone. But well, so be it. Wow, that was intense. Now I'm going to pick up my backpack, refill my bottle, and then head home. I reached 36 kilometers. What was also a bit strange was that my heart rate didn't go above 165, even at the end where I ran about 4 to 14. It was somehow strange. The pulse should have been over 170. Normally, it was like that on both watches. No idea what that was about again. And off home. The backpack is there. Yes, as I said, my salt tablets are gone. My 500 milliliter Salomon bottle is gone. My other water bottle is gone. But well, that one is 10 years old, so it's not a big deal. So well, 20-25 shot to the wind for the run. I took 3 gels, took the drink mix, the 360 on 150 milliliters. It worked very well. The consistency was also like a gel. I drank, I would say, about 1.5 liters in the end. It might have been a bit more. In between, I felt quite full. Otherwise, as I said, my pulse was strangely low. During the first one, it was just under 170, and during the second, it was sometimes below 160. And during the third one, as I said, despite the increase in pace, it barely went over 165. So, that's actually strange. No idea if anything will come of it or not. My thighs are already swollen. I can feel them now. I will definitely use the compression boots today. The next few days will be quiet for now, although there are X scheduled for Tuesday. I am fairly certain that I won't be doing them. For that, my thighs feel way too thick. And next week is another half marathon. I am generally looking forward to the trial. It won't be an all-out run. The goal is under 130. which I managed today as well, including a toilet break, which is really awesome. But yes, that's about the pace I want to run next week, somewhere around 126 to 130,000. I'm really satisfied for now. As I said, I didn't think I would pull it off like this. During the second 10 kilometers run, I have to say, it was already tough. I didn't expect that the third one would somehow be longer than 5 kilometers. But as I said, maybe it really helped that the backpack was briefly gone. Unfortunately, I got so enraged, and then the pace didn't really matter anymore. In any case, it was, what I suspect, by far the most intense and toughest training session I have ever had. Let's go. 128.52 on the half marathon and at home. Guys, just a quick look at the stats. 2 hours 42 minutes, 36.4 kilometers. That makes an average of 428. 2,600 active calories burned. That means I can definitely still treat myself to a pizza without an average heart rate of 159. Today, we managed to run 111 kilometers, and it might be 112 kilometers for the week. Super awesome. I hope you can even see me. It's pretty dark now, and I'm hungry and want to go to bed. Bye. And before I forget, the Brooks Hyperion Max. Absolutely awesome. Didn't get any blisters. Didn't have any problems anywhere. So, yeah, super awesome. If the carbon version, the Brooks Hyperion Elite, is also that good and even better because of the carbon, then that's absolutely amazing. But with the Hyperion Max, I will definitely run the half marathon. And it is definitely the current marathon candidate, I would say.